Hey, what's up everybody, BDO 44 coming to another video. Alright, it's time to redirect our focus. It's time. Brett Favre has done some things down in Mississippi that should be getting more conversation on my part. I ain't gonna talk about nobody else who ain't talking about me. I have made one video as a therapy session. I didn't label it. I told everybody exactly what I thought about that. You probably didn't even see it because my therapy sessions don't get a lot of traffic. I should have labeled it differently, but I didn't. I did not. I didn't follow this story because, quite honestly, to me, this is a very simple thing. The money that he took, he has. He can give it back. Then he can go sit down. That's what needs to happen. That's why I didn't talk about this. It has a very simple solution. He gives money back. He goes to jail along with those who are in on this. They all go to jail. That's what needs to happen. This ain't like a complicated situation like the Boston Celtics situation or the Robert Sarver situation. Neither one of those, to this situation, to our knowledge, has enough detail in it for us to really know what to do, which is why it's so intriguing. That's by design. It's why they've kept our attention so strong, because they've released the information in this way. Not important. What is important is the fact that Mississippi is the most poor state in our union, and the money that was taken was directly funds that was supposed to be helping those in the poorest areas of the poorest state. He took from the poorest of us, and they did it in a way that was very, very, very deliberate. Text messages, things like that were said to have gone back and forth between a certain congressman, Brett Favre, and some other lady, from what I understand. And now it's just being it's understood that they've broken the law. You know, however you feel about it ethically, they broke the law. And so that is what we're not talking about. That is what is not being said. The fact that Brett Favre has essentially done something that he should probably have to go sit down for a little bit. And it's just, we start looking at the person's character. Like I always say in situations like this, I don't look for people to be role models or to guide me through moral circumstances, and like I said, I've discussed how I felt about it. I think I've been someone who's enjoyed going to rec centers and stuff like that. I have, but I would like to think that they weren't built taken from money people who have gone, who need the money, taken from people who don't have anything, taken from people who don't have a way to make a way for themselves. And I would like to think it wouldn't be millionaires taking that money from those people to make that rec center that I would enjoy. Now, he built that for his alma mater. I don't know why he couldn't have taken his own money to do that. I don't know why he couldn't have got some investors together just like any other project and come together and get that done. He's Brett Favre. He could have got a couple of his teammates to come together and get that done. It just speaks to the evil in the hearts of certain people. They have to take from a certain type of people in order to feel like they're doing right by themselves. It's a hate that I think stems that type of behavior. And it's what's worse about our country than anything else, I believe. It's the nature of certain people who will just identify those who have the very least of us and suck dry from them to exalt themselves, to just give themselves more of a luxury in life. I think there needs to be a special way to punish that type of behavior, no different than the behavior that's being deterred in the NBA with the Boston Celtics situation. You got to do something weird and unusual to deter that type of behavior so that people will never do anything like that again. But the problem is, what value does the poor have? That's what it really comes down to. That question is like, okay, what does it benefit the greater good in the world of capitalism to protect the poor, who contribute so little to the overall capitalistic aspect of it? That's the evil of it all. We live in a world where dog eat dog. live in a society where it's about you getting your own, and whatever happens to everybody else is whatever. This is what happens. We value human beings as a level, you know, that it's like, oh well, you know, contribute. That's what they're telling us. Contribute. If you want to be valued, do more, earn more, pay more taxes. That's what they're telling everybody. How you get there, your business. You do the wrong things, we'll throw you in jail though. So figure it out. And that's why it's so awful that a person like Brett Favre, who has a lot, would take from people who don't have a lot and a lot of options, and maybe not even a lot of information on how to get to where they need to go. So to say shame on him is an understatement. I'm more so looking at myself saying shame on me for not bringing more of a light on the conversation. I don't care to condemn anybody else for their sins. I got a God for that. He'll handle all that. So that's how I look at the situation. I'm disgusted that more conversation is not being had about this, just like most people are. But at the same time, it's like this gives us an opportunity to understand the mind games that have been played upon us, that have been effective in nature, taking our minds away from certain things just by sheer nature of how they give us the information. Slow, intriguing. It's awful. It's just awful. The whole thing is awful. And so hopefully justice is served in this Brett Favre situation. Hopefully we can get our minds right on understanding and identifying these various distractions, elaborate and well thought out distractions. And hopefully the people who are involved in those distractions can take a second, zoom all the way out, and actually identify that they are a part of a distraction, and then start looking around at who's feeding what information where, and start looking around at who's putting people where, and start to realize that there are connections, because this is deliberate. So just scratch and sniff, you'll find what you need. At the end of the day, the 1-year suspension for Udoka, the 1-year suspension for Sarver, this situation not being talked about, Sarver's situation quickly being forgotten about, and God knows whatever else is not being thought about right now, which I'm sure is plenty, including the stock market situation that everyone needs to be aware of. With our economy going to the ground as it is, there's no wonder why there's so many different elaborate distractions with so many moving parts and pieces and slow revealing information and all kinds of other crap, because there's a lot of money being sucked out of us at once. Freaking stock market is tanking, and we know why. So yeah, one distraction begets another distraction, begets another distraction, begets another distraction. For all I know, this too is just that. This Brett Favre thing is nonsense. But anyway, all in all, you guys, he needs to go sit down for that. I can't stress that enough. They put people in jail for stuff like that now. And I don't care that he's a great NFL player. I rooted for him. I'm a Packer fan that rooted for Brett Favre. That's why this is very annoying of a situation for myself. But, you know, people reveal who they are, man. It is what it is. Just because you can throw a football doesn't mean you understand how to be how not to be an awful human being. Just awful. Take from the worst of us. Seriously. Disgraced. I feel bad for anybody that's linked to the man, to be honest with you. I feel bad for anybody linked to him, because he's just the overall way this looks. I wouldn't want to stand next to a person like that. I wouldn't. And we talk about canceling people and what, you know, people getting their achievements snatched from them. The NFL has done a fantastic job of effectively removing certain people's achievements from them when they've disgraced themselves. I don't think this is too far-fetched. I don't think this is too far-fetched. But I understand that, like I said, they don't value the poor. If they did value the poor, you wouldn't see number 4 swinging around in Lambeau like that anymore. You would see them scrape that number off. Seriously. That's how disgraceful of an act this is. You talk about what can happen because of actions. How much bad can happen from people not being able to get access to money, who don't have a lot. Some of these places, people are war-torn, basically. You know, Mississippi, I'm not familiar with how things are going down there, but I'd imagine it's rough when people are poor. It's just like anywhere else in America. They got access to liquor and guns and drugs, but not access to things that make them healthy and happy. And you take from those people, try to make their lives worse. Disgraceful, man. There should be no place for that in the NFL. There should be no place for celebrating a person like that. You want to take away other people's achievements because they were awful human beings? I don't have a problem with that. I think this one fits that as well. And it's coming from a fan, a real fan. Someone who rooted for this man when I was 10 years old. I'm disgusted with myself for not letting you guys know how disgusted I am with him. More so. My name is BDL44. I thank you all for watching.